Ryan Cole, congratulations. Another indoor championship, Coach of the Year. Good job by everyone all around, though. Did you see this coming? I'm thinking you did.
The men had a really strong meet. And so, there's 17 events, indoor track. You're allowed to take 28 people from your team. All 28 of our men scored in their events. We scored in all 17 events. And going into the meet, we talked about our preparation. You want to use your regular season to be really fit, really prepared to go and be successful, and then have good momentum going in. And then when you go to that culminating event, you don't have to do anything different. You just go out and do what you're prepared to do. And our guys did a really nice job of that across the board. No one was really heroic. We had some events that really stood out where people, they did step up. And then we had some events that we thought we might be able to compete to win, and it wasn't in the cards on the weekend, but those individuals still were second or they were third. So they still competed really, really well within the context of their events, and just across the board, the guys did a really nice job.
I know it's tough individually, like you mentioned, some of those people who, thought they could have won it and didn't, but are those same people able to say, hey, we're champions and revel in the fact that they're champions?
Well, they had a big smile on their face after the meet, especially when you get that team trophy. And so, again, there are a lot of different events in track and field, and that's one of the neat things about the sport. You have so many different types of athletes that do different things, and then they all come together to build a successful team outcome. And so, yeah, I told our team that each event is kind of a battle, and you fight the battles to win the war. You may not every event may not be a win, but you do your part and you do as much as you can, and you contribute in ways beyond just your running or your jumping or your throwing. And so even if you don't have necessarily the one outcome that you'd really like to have in your event, you do everything you can in that moment, and then you find other ways to support your teammates to make sure that the team is doing everything it can to be as successful as it's capable of being. And again, the guys just did a really great job of that.
Yeah, they certainly did. The ladies on the other side, not as many athletes, not as many opportunities to score. Just talk to me about what's going on that side.
Well, we need to continue to build that program. And so, as you said, there aren't as many athletes on the women's team as the men's, so that gets addressed through recruiting. And then once you get the right type of people into the program, that goes into culture and really building that dynamic where you have people that are determined, and then the ensuing commitment that follows from that to be successful at our sport of track and field. And then, you need to keep your people healthy. And so that's another challenge, because there are always going to be hiccups. There's going to be sickness. There's going to be just the challenge of being a young person and being a cadet at the Air Force Academy. But I always tell our people that, there are a lot of challenges at the beginning and they become assets at the end. And so you learn how to handle adversity, you learn how to handle, kind of stressful moments, and you become very good at having poise and composure. And so I think that really translates well into your athletic success, but also it's a transferable skill set into the rest of your life beyond athletics. And so I think that's something that we're going to continue to build. And it's always, and we've seen it in different years where you have, whether it's an individual athlete or an event group or a team, where one gender kind of paves the way for the other gender. And so they challenge each other, they support each other, and they grow together. And so looking at what the guys did this year, I hope the women are looking at that and saying, okay, that looks like a lot of fun. How do we make ourselves better? How do we make our team better? And then that cycle perpetuates itself, and they get to share in that experience down the road.
It seems like after the end of every season, I'm talking to you about another championship, or at least, a really good shot at one. Now we're going to go into the outdoor season. I know it's different. There's more events. How do you feel about that?
Well, we still have a big meet coming up to finish off the indoor season. So Sam Gilman will go down to the Indoor National Championships and represent the Air Force Academy down there in the 3,000 meter. I think he has a really good shot to compete very well. And then we transition to the outdoor season. You always want to be the best you can be in each season. And so you want to take away some positives from past seasons, what's worked, what maybe could be done better. But I think if you get hung up on looking at what's happened in the past and what you've done and just assuming that that's going to happen again in the future, you're setting yourself up. So you always kind of have to take some positive away and then smile about it and then move on. And so then you start focusing on the next event, and whether you've won 10 in a row or you're trying to win your first one, every one you kind of have to approach like you've never won any. And so there has to be that sense of determination. There has to be that competitive edge, and you have to be focused on what you're trying to do in the moment and not being distracted by living in the past.
All right. Ryan Cole, thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.